Discourse Discourse Analysis by Dr. Andi Karudin. The fact human life is grounded by messages which continues passed from one person to other or other people. The question, what is the main purpose of expressing a message? What do people do to convey their messages? The messages are expressed to communicate concept, idea, and information to others. The messages are conveyed in written text, they read and spoken interaction. They speak. Do you agree with saying that spoken interaction is the primary medium and written is the second one? Thereupon, the sake of discourse analysis is in the area of spoken and written discourse. What is spoken discourse? The idea concerning spoken discourse 1. A language is verbal use by using speech in communication. Second is constitute a series of conversational system of the sound. The last, it is actual representation is speaking. Understanding speaking means to understand spoken discourse. What is speaking? Speaking may be defined as a skill to convey messages oral, in which the skill informed by knowledge of vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, coherence, inflection, and consonants. Richard, 2008. People use speaking to implement three major functions: speaking as narration, speaking as translation, speaking as performance. These are the scope of spoken discourse. Speaking as interaction. This speaking displays interactional functions such as its implement established social interaction. It focuses on satisfying the practice social needs. It is interactive and requires two-way practitioner to influence two or more people meet software and function to establish a comfortable atmosphere of interaction among participants. To contain more than one topic of talk, its use may rejoinder, such as really or oh no during interaction. This interaction function introduces the most frequent activity of taking for most people, and that is conversation. Conversation as the most frequent spoken discourse can take place in two different contexts. One, in the classroom, which is also known as classroom conversation, and second is real social life outside the classroom, which is also known as casual conversation. The distance between classroom and casual conversation. In casual conversation, people do not need to put their heads up if they want to speak. In classroom conversation, students are expected to do it if they want to say something. According to Barnes 171, teachers really ask questions to which they do not already know the answer. In real life, people normally ask questions to find out something they do not know. Development Delamon 176 states that is the classroom teachers are expected to follow up appropriate responses with some kind of evaluation, like good score, that's right, but outside the classroom, this type of follow-up will be quite out of place. Sharks confirm that in casual conversation, there exists quiet and complimentation for ordering speaker transparency. In the classroom, it's usually the teacher who decides who will be speaking next and for how long. Sinclair and Coulthard So that classroom discourse has by nature a three-phase structure. The teacher interrogates the pupil response. The teacher then evaluates the response. If a teacher withholds feedback, the pupil takes his as a sign that the response was wrong and try again. In normal conversation, this type of evaluation feedback will sound strict and call even be offensive. Classroom conversation. The fourth corner classroom conversation for Indonesian students. Classroom is a prime place where they are frequently exposed and encouraged to speak in the foreign language either with their classmates or teachers. The kind of language used by the teacher and student to interact one another in the classroom is called classroom discourse or classroom conversation. For someone language partition, classroom conversation is a special part of language used by teacher and student in their interaction. This is due to its own specific feature which other parties do not share. The specialist style of classroom conversation. Teachers tend to speed their speech. Teacher and student interaction are limited by time and space because both parties simple influence in communication in the classroom when the teacher and teaching the student. Teacher and student commonly use the foreign language to practice and to develop their communication skill in the foreign language in which teachers speak more than the student or limited right to speak. Teacher and student communicated due to teaching and learning interested, but not to natural interact due to their social interact. For duration, teacher always asks question that is the answer they already know, and student language will frequently be evaluated by the teacher. Reason for discourse analysis of classroom conversation to show its typical characteristic in terms of structure, functional, and so forth, which have made it different from casual conversation to encourage the student to know and to use the characteristic when they are in the classroom setting and want to implement a conversation theory to see what goes in the classroom and to evaluation to the end product of our teaching and that our student. What to do in carrying out discourse analysis for CLC? Richard and Schmidt, the focus are there for CLC. The first, tension situation. Second, talking. The relation between tension, speech move, and the last and speech attacks. What can you see in the following extract of a CLC? Teacher, now then, I've got something here. To hands up. What's that? What is this? Pupil. Saw. Teacher, it's a saw. Yes, this is a saw. By using our common yes, we'll only see a dialogue interact between a teacher and his or her student, but by using discourse analysis, we will see different things. What is Sinclair and Coulthard discourse analysis for CLC using speech attack apart. Speech attack apart refers to speech attack theory which claims that a classroom conversation is a speech situation which consists of one or more speech, even with different functions such as functive, declarative, directive, expressive, and representative. Sinclair and Coulthard found from analysis conversation between teacher and student Its patterns show the classroom communication commonly occur by using the following squares. Sinclair Kotler. Discourse analysis for CLs using speech. Attack apart by using an extra from their data. The sequence can be applied to analysis. The exact above analysis by using speed attack apart, we find out three different functions the conversation, square and contract analysis for CLC using speed attack apart. Sinclair and Conrad, those analysis for CLC using speed attack apart. What is the cross-analysis contribution for CLC? The result of this analysis from CLC not only provide the two things but also give quarter information. For example, Indonesia teacher who is untrained teaching Bahasa Indonesia for Australia student may adopt the discourse square and function when teaching a student for cultural adaptation. So the teacher starts his or her lesson with intention functional as asks the allow he her student to respond functional as answer finally give feedback with a functional comment. The cultural adaptation is in teaching and expected able to make the teaching style adapted to be cultural commonly exist in the classroom or student. As a comparison, what can you see from the following extra of CEC? Discourse analysis for the extract of CLC of Indonesia. We see pattern of analysis the extract. Hari ini kita akan melanjutkan kembali perkuliahan kita. Sebelumnya saya akan membahas sekilas tentang pembelajaran yang sudah kita bicarakan minggu lalu. Pada pertemuan yang kita sudah bahas tentang sebelumnya, kita lanjut materi selanjutnya dengan pertanyaan. Kat, sekali lagi ada pertanyaan. Baik, kalau tidak ada pertanyaan kita lanjut ke what function are they in the extract when is analysis using speech attack approach? Analysis when find out the following function. Initiation, teacher. Hari ini kita akan melanjutkan kembali perkuliahan kita. Namun sebelumnya saya akan bahas sekilas tentang pembelajaran yang sudah kita bicarakan minggu lalu. Pada pertemuan yang kita sudah bahas tentang sudah jelas. Sebelumnya kita akan jalan materi ada pertanyaan. Analysis, the teacher initiation, the confirmation basing. Hari ini kita akan melanjutkan kembali perkuliahan kita. We call label the function of the square of instancy. The difference of discourse squares and their function from the two different extracts of CLC. Another information given by discourse analysis for the extract or CLC. Using discourse analysis, Claire and Courthard found the internal structure from the extract. How to disclose the internal structure? The internal structure can be identified by marking the borders in the data with a slash or n double slash or to create the structure of the discourse. The internal structure in order page of data. The internal structure in order page data. Question and answer.